What's going on, folks? Nothing better to do. This is BlogXilla, sitting here with the lovely Monica. You're watching the No Judgment Zone. And Monica has an album coming out called Code Red.
Yes.
Why'd you go with Code Red?
It's a bold statement. You know, if nothing else, even if you don't know why I said it, it makes you wonder why I said it, kind of gets your attention. I just wanted to bring attention back to R&B music, especially R&B soul music. I think that it has lost that genuine love and affection that we had for it, especially in the 90s and even prior. It's lost that, and you know, I think that it's really needed, especially as desensitized as kids are kind of becoming as they hear certain things over and over. So you want to bring that love back, you want to bring the messages back, you want to bring the soulfulness and the power of that music back.
How much of the album is like your experiences and who you are today versus who you were back in the day?
There's a mixture. You know, I recognize that you can't make an album only about where you are right now. I mean, because there was so much of the journey that it took to get to this point. So I made records about things from the past. I made records about things of the present. I would say it's about 50-50, because who I am now is basically because of all the different things that I've been through.
You seem happy.
Yeah.
You seem happy and like just in love with how everything turned out.
Yeah. And I'm okay even when things change. One of the greatest things that happened to me is me accepting the things that I could change and understanding that there will be some things that I can't. And that's the actions of others, the changes in different things, whether it be music or in your life. You know, sometimes we're just too busy holding on that we can't embrace the change and the things that can come with change. And one thing I had to really learn to do is forgive other people. And now that I've done that, I'm happier than I've ever been, because I'm not carrying anything with me.
I know how it feels to hold a grudge. You know, I got some grudges of my own. But once you get rid of that grudge and let go, how does it make you feel?
Free. And it's almost like you don't really get a do-over in life per se, but it feels like you're doing everything over because you're not carrying stuff as you're moving.
What have you learned about the music industry in all of your years inside of it?
One thing that I've learned about the music industry that I think sticks out when asked would be that you're not going to find everyone with the same passion. People are in the music business for a lot of different reasons. Some because they like the lifestyle that comes with it, some because they genuinely love music, some by chance, some their families introduced them to it. I had to understand that not everyone will have the exact same passion and love for it that I do. And that keeps me from becoming the frustrated artist, you know, because I don't walk in a room and expect you to get it. It's my job to try and make sure that you get it.
What is your relationship with Brandy?
We're grown now, so our relationship is good because we really respect each other, and I recognize that she is by far one of the greatest to ever do it, and that there's a whole era of music where she and I, and of course you can't forget Aaliyah, it was just the three of us, and we were learning and growing, but at the same time, there was a whole audience that was molding and shaping their lives right around us. Because in the three of us, you could find something you connect to. So I think it was good for us to grow up and recognize that there's this room and this space for the two of us. You don't have to choose one. It's not a competitive thing, because you can't undo the history, and we both have ours, and we've done some things that other people can't say that they've done.
The ones that came up like right after you guys, do you feel like any of them say, hey, I want to collaborate with you, I want to do some stuff with you? Was that a possibility?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You've been around me a while. I'm definitely the kind of person that if you say, I want to do something with you. Like one of my favorite records of all times that I've ever been on was Keisha's record, Trust. And when she called me about it, she was like, you know what, I got this song from my first album that I wrote that means a lot to me, and I want to do it over, but let's make it a duet between the two of you. I had just had my middle son, Romello, and I wasn't even thinking about music at that time, really just him. And I'm like, you know what, yeah, I'll definitely come. I came to LA and we did the record, and it's still to this day one of my favorite. And it was, you know, that was her baby. It was a part of her records and it was in her repertoire. So to be asked to flip it, I was honored because it said to me that you respect what I do. And the same thing when anybody calls me to get on something or ask me to do something. And I've always been the type that if there's something I've learned along the way, I'm always sharing, because it's not getting easier, it's getting harder. As far as music business goes, it's getting harder and harder by the day.
You mentioned your kids. You took some time off to just be a mother. Why?
I wanted them to understand that nothing comes before them. You know, a lot of times you'll see kids and it appears that they have everything, but if you talk to them, which is what happened with me in high school, I had to, because I was working, I had to pretty much have a tutor travel with me, and when I was home, I would go to this school, and it was full of some of the wealthiest children in the world, but there were a few, and I remember having a conversation during one of the breaks that they would have there, and this girl told me, she was like, well, you know, for me, my nanny is my mom. You know, I love her, and if anything ever happened to her, I would go crazy. I was like, well, how you feel about your mom? And basically she was explaining how I don't really know her like that. You know, they work and they provide us with all this stuff. And it just stayed with me because I didn't have kids until way later. And it was exactly what I didn't want for them. But the reason that I took the time off was so that they would always understand that I do this for them. It doesn't come before them. It's a big part of why I do things the way that I do it. I take time off and make sure that they understand that my life now is about them first. And I was fortunate enough to pursue a lot of my dreams and stuff before they were ever born. So they shouldn't be second to anything else that's taking place.
So I also want to know just about the baby. Leia, she's so beautiful. She's gonna be a singer.
You know, I don't know. It's amazing because she always asks to go on stage. She sings from the time she wakes up to the time she goes to sleep. But then I noticed she's interested in lots of other stuff. She loves painting now. My cousin introduced her to, got her easel and the canvases, and I mean, when she paints, she gets serious. And she loves ballet. So you just never know. At 2, I can't say exactly what it is that she'll do, but she definitely is not like the average kiddie, oh, I'll sing along. It's definitely a different love for it.
What was your thought process when you decided to share your life with us? You know what I mean? You share your life with everyone, which we appreciate, because other celebrities don't. That's why I feel like that's why they rock with you. That's why you always gonna have a nice concert. You always gonna have those fans, because they rock with you like on a real genuine level, because you share, and you don't, you know, share a good amount.
You know, I share a lot just for encouragement purposes, and also because I don't ever want people to forget I'm just like you. I eat, sleep, breathe, cry, hurt, bleed, just like you. And sometimes I think artists, we have so much and we have access to so much, it would be easy to forget if ever you just got beside yourself enough to not keep contact with everyday people, because that's really all we are, just different occupation. So I don't ever want to lose that connection, and I share. It's just so second nature. I don't even think about it when I'm sharing certain things, because I think about what my life was and what it is, and I know that people know a lot about the journey, and it's just a reminder that greatness is just awaiting you. You just have to believe, and you have to stay encouraged enough to get through whatever it is you're in at that particular time.
I want to know a question, because people always tell me, when you find the one, you'll know it. Did you know, okay, the rest of my life is with Shannon. The rest of my life, I'm ready for this?
I tell you, it was a combination of feelings I had never felt before, which for me was scary because I had been hurt so many times before. And I was almost running from it. And I'm very fortunate that he was patient with me. You know, I'm fortunate that he was the type of guy that was persistent enough and was honest enough to tell me all that he did before, good, bad, or indifferent, so that there were no surprises, and to tell me what his goals were. The first day we met, he told me I would be his wife, and I was like, how you know that? But I think what happens when God places somebody in your life and they're really placed by him, you know, people always say that, but everything that comes into your path is not through him. So when I realized, I'm like, he's really been placed in my life, is when I started shedding all these different things that have been with me so long. Pain, hurt, insecurities, not feeling like I was enough. Looking at myself over and over to see what's wrong with me, or that all of those things completely stopped happening. There was no doubt in my mind. I've been proposed to before, and you have all these questions and cold feet and all this other stuff. The one, that doesn't happen.
Well, that's our show, folks. Join us next week when we put on a celebrity death match with claymation characters and make Sam fight Adam. I don't know. That's your show.